Everyone says frieren is peak, and honestly, that might be an understatement, cause despite being set in a fantasy world, how some of the themes it presents can be so painfully relatable even in our real lives. But you know what? While that's true and all, not many people actually give enough credit to its very first episode though, which I think it deserves so much. Especially for one scene that I want to share with you guys that legit left me in absolute tears, which honestly has never happened to me before. That a series' first episode made me tear up so much that I wouldn't hesitate to say this can even be considered as a standalone masterpiece on its own. While in broad terms, the story is mostly about Frieren learning to value the time she is spending with others, right? For this episode though, it was all about Himmel for me. Not him as a hero or how important a role he plays for Frieren, but him as just an old man, as he gets to experience his cheerful days of youth for one last time, and that's all thanks to this one friend that he truly loved. Fuck, am I just weird that it made me cry so much? Like, none of you guys did? At first, the episode may appear to have a slow start with seemingly nothing much going on. The hero party returns after defeating the Demon King, which is the goal of almost all isekai fantasy anime, but yeah, the twist here is that their journey has already ended. Yes, the story begins where most storylines usually end, which is of course very new to me, and I can't think of another anime or story that has done this before. Let me know guys if I'm wrong though. But apart from that, what else do we get from the episode? We simply see them enjoying the victory feast after their grand return, reminiscing about the time they spent adventuring together, and watch the Era meteor shower in a breathtaking panel. However, even in such seemingly casual moments, we often get reminded how little Frieren values about the passage of time. It's like every dialogue had a meaning for the overall story, and as the banter at the gathering, Frieren then offers Himmel, Heiter and Aizen to go see the meteor shower from a better view when the next time it'll happen. 50 years later. I mean, she was just trying to suggest something casually that she thought others might like, but hearing her say that, Himmel starts laughing, knowing full well that all of them might not even stay alive by the time the next time comes. But things started sinking in when the time actually did come, and this exact moment was what made me feel like I must make a video on this just to share the emotions I felt while watching it. Cause after 50 long years, Frieren finally returns to the city, meets with a very old Himmel, which was bound to happen as he was after all just a mere human. Then to keep her promise to them to see the Era meteor shower from a better view, Frieren basically insisted them to travel for one whole week to get there, and so they do. The whole party who adventured together back in their good old days now sets up for one last adventure that will certainly never happen again, as there will be no next time after this. Fuck, even while writing this part, it was making my eyes watery. And as they embark on this final journey together, this one dialogue that Himmel says here truly captured the whole essence of the episode and also made it a goddamn masterpiece in my eyes.
懐かしいよ。こうしていると。あの時に戻ったかのようだ。いろいろなところを旅したね。何もかもが新鮮で、きらめいて見えた。その美しい思い出の中にはいつも君たちがいた。僕はね、全員が揃うこの日を待ち望んでいたんだ。ありがとう、フリーレン。君のおかげで、最後にとても楽しい冒険ができた。
It's even more painful when you actually rewatch this after finishing the whole season, cause almost throughout the season we see how much Himmel cared about Frieren, which is why when Frieren does return and takes him on this one last adventure, you could notice how Himmel's voice was just filled with acceptance of the fact that they can never be together, despite how much he loved her, and knowing Frieren did not feel any of that at that point. I mean, can you just imagine how Himmel could feel exactly? For some reason, I did, and every fucking time I watch this scene, I can feel the pain and acceptance in his voice that leaves me crying every single time. Well, of course, much of the credit must go to Ivan Call to gift us with such godly soundtracks, and I can't thank enough Studio Madhouse to bring this scene to absolute perfection. It was truly magical, I swear to God. The way this first episode is crafted, it never loses meaning even after finishing the whole season, and I'm sure it will stay as emotionally relevant by the end of the whole storyline. It's that good. Now I must make it clear that I initially did not have any plans to make a video on frieren, at least not before season 2 starts airing and we get something new to see. But as the next season is already just around the corner, I thought it's a good time to rewatch the first season, just to, jog up the memories of the show. And this is something I usually do before a new season starts airing of any series that I already love. But particularly in the case of frieren, oh boy, what an emotional wreck it turned me into. And as a result, as you can see here I am feeling absolutely compelled to share the emotions that I just felt. You might even be surprised to know that the episode did not actually hit me as hard when I was first time watching frieren as a seasonal anime, but during this rewatch, I totally lost it. Which is why I'd highly suggest you to rewatch the series if you haven't already before season 2 drops. But yes, you must do that in complete solitude. Just you, the screen in front of you, and your thoughts. Just let that all sink in, because I assure you the feeling you get while watching something like this can be so special, and you surely do not want to ruin that watching it with any kinds of negative or worrying thoughts, right? And with that, I guess that's about it. I mean, even the later half of the episode when frieren visits Heiter 20 years after Himmel's death was so well done. Just to live a little longer must be something every old man can relate to. I mean, I can just speculate here, but I think I'm right. And for me, when a show makes me feel or have thoughts like this, no high rating can justify how good it actually is. So I know no matter how much I try, I won't be able to give you guys the exact feeling that I felt while watching the episode. Still, I think I tried my best that I hope some of you can resonate to. And if I was even a little successful in doing so, you can consider subscribing the channel, cause you'd really like to hear my sexy voice later on, right? As Himmel would have said. Anyway, that's it. GG's.